Get your words straight, Jack.
That's what I hear on MSNBC.
You don't hear that on MSNBC. You did not hear that at all.
U.S. military support after the revolution gave Vice President Biden a lot of leverage for his anti-corruption agenda. Burisma was founded by a Ukrainian oligarch, Mykola Zlochevsky. Zlochevsky, a former government minister, was suspected of self-dealing, granting licenses for oil and gas concessions to help his company, and allowing Burisma to evade taxes. Anti-corruption watchdog Darina Kalenyuk.
Burisma has a very bad reputation. And in Ukraine, we appeared in the situation when we had to fight two wars, war with Russia and war with corruption.
In an attempt to improve its image and shield itself from scrutiny, in 2014, Burisma assembled a new board of directors. The company brought in several high-profile names, including Vice President Biden's son, Hunter.
Why would Burisma hire Hunter Biden to serve on the board?
Nominating such person, it was the idea to protect company from investigation.
Serhiy Leshenko is an investigative journalist and former member of Ukraine's parliament.
Nominating and putting such people on the position, idea is to make company more protected from investigation, to make less possible disclosure of the misconduct in past and so on. It's typical PR story.
It was clear for us that Mykola Zlochevsky is trying hard to whitewash his reputation and to make everything possible to prevent from losing his assets in Ukraine.
It's my honor to introduce the Vice President of the United States, my father, Joe Biden.
Hunter Biden was an unusual choice for Burisma. He was a lawyer and venture capitalist, but had no experience in the oil and gas sector. He recently admitted to the New Yorker magazine a tumultuous personal life with bouts of drug and alcohol addiction. Hunter Biden's position with Burisma came with a reported $50,000 a month paycheck. It raised eyebrows in Washington at the time.
Hunter Biden has now taken a position with oil and gas company in Ukraine. Is there any concern about at least the appearance of a conflict there?
Hunter Biden and other members of the Biden family are obviously private citizens, and where they work is not does not reflect an endorsement by the administration or by the vice president or president. But I would refer you to the vice president's office.
It's not the first instance when we see a company of Ukrainian tycoon inviting very prominent people with prominent names in order to make them look good. It was very wrong and very unethical.
Wrong and unethical for Hunter Biden to take the job?
He had nothing to do with Ukraine before he took that job. So did he ask himself why he was invited to join the board? They needed his name, full stop.
But even with such star power on the board, Burisma still faced a corruption investigation. And here's where the story gets interesting. Ukraine's prosecutor general at the time was named Viktor Shokin. It was his job to oversee the investigation into Burisma.
Was he an effective prosecutor?
No, totally ineffective. He was appointed with the idea to fight against corruption, to be independent, but he has no credibility and no ability to investigate. He is just crook.
Shokin quickly earned a reputation for protecting powerful friends, including the exiled president, Viktor Yanukovych. Protesters in Kiev demanded that Shokin be fired, and they weren't the only ones unhappy with Shokin's slow walking of corruption cases.
It was the whole international community. It was the European Union. It was international financial organizations. It was about reform of our prosecutor offices, which were fundamentally and systemically corrupt.
Among the loudest voices calling for Shokin to be fired was Vice President Joe Biden.
We look for President Putin.
To help push the case, Biden threatened to hold up a $1 billion loan guarantee program.
Literally not a joke.
An episode he boasted about months later at the Council on Foreign Relations.
I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
Remember this, it's important. Shokin was fired for failing to investigate corruption.
And they put in place someone who was solid at the time. Well, son of a bitch.